Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary. 'Cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee. Dee-dee, a fwit-dee-dee-dee-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Ya-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go! Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Good evening, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Gothic Horror Gaming here on Nat 21 Adventures. I'm your host, Tom Sadoyko, the Gloom Master, and tonight we are doing a horror role-playing game for those of you who might be new. So as a warning, this show will contain scenes of violence, death, gore, creatures of common phobia, dismemberment, all sorts of horrible, horrible things. So if that is not your cup of tea, we understand, but be aware that is what you are getting into here at Gothic Horror Gaming. Take a quick moment to thank all of our sponsors. First of all, we'd like to thank Wren Adventures, wrenadventures.com. If you've ever wanted to tour various places throughout Europe and also here in the United States, they put together wrenadventures.com, puts together tours where you will be guided around the locations by knowledgeable Renaissance Fair performers. And we've got a special one coming up in England in June 2nd through the 7th at Muncaster Castle in the Lakes region of England. We're going to play D&D in an actual castle and tour around in between. We're doing some falconry demonstrations, some archery. There's a hedge maze, all sorts of really cool stuff that we're going to be doing in between the actual adventure, which will then incorporate some of these events and locations into our game. You can check that out, wrenadventures.com. We also have our good friends, 3dtu.org, good friends of ours, who do 3D printing and laser woodcutting for all sorts of gaming accessories. They take personalized commissions. You can find them over at 3dtu.org, also on Facebook and Instagram. And finally, we like to plug ourselves, myself, the Gloom Master, and my wife, Handler Z, who is in the background. She has written a book. Melissa Lee is the name that it is under. It is called Dare. It is a collection of short fiction and poetry. It's primarily horror and science fiction. Available on Amazon as paperback, Kindle, or I narrate the audiobook version. You can check that out over there. Dare by Melissa Lee. Now then, a little bit about tonight's game. Tonight we are set in the Chill universe. Chill was a game put out by Mayfair Games originally. It has gone through several iterations and different owners since then. But essentially, the supernatural is very real, very dangerous, and most often very evil. It exists behind the facade of our real world. Most people do not know of its existence. However, there is an organization of, let's call them wealthy philanthropists, who have put together what's called SAVE, the Society of the Silver Way. And they attempt to combat the unknown, as they call the supernatural, and prevent its spread and its general knowledge so as not to panic the world. So that is our setting. However, our rule system is a game called Over the Edge. Over the Edge was a very, very simple game. You can still find it online if you're curious about it. Its setting is very bizarre, very weird, very fun. We are using their rules in the Chill setting. The rules are very simple. A character has 3 traits, a primary trait and 2 side traits. These traits can be anything. Let us say you choose that you want to be a sailor. So sailor is your primary trait, you have decided. And now you pick 2 side traits. They can be anything. Perhaps devoutly religious and maybe club DJ, let's say. So those are your 3 traits. Now, anytime you want to do something, you see if what your action would fall underneath one of those 3 traits, and if so, which one. For instance, our sailor has to quickly untie a knot that a captive is bound up in. Well, in that case, they are a sailor. They are very adept at knots. They would get to roll 4d6, 4 6-sided dice, and attempt to hit a target number in order to undo that knot. Now, let us say instead that they are trying to recall a particular song that was very popular in the 80s for whatever reason. As a club DJ, they would roll 3d6 as that's one of their side traits. 3d6, attempt a target number. Now they're trying to do something that doesn't involve any of their traits. For instance, let us say they are attempting to ride a horse, but they've never ridden a horse before. So in that case, they would roll 2d6. Those of you watching on Twitch can affect the outcome by spending your Twitch points over there in the comments section with Dracula's stepdaughter. Thank you so much for being here once again. We really appreciate it. Dracula's stepdaughter is over there keeping track of how you're spending your points and offering helps when you do that. In fact, we have an updated list of helps right there that we'll get to our characters in a minute and show you what those mean. But a help can be used by a player or by me, the game master, to add an extra D6 every time they ask you declare using a help. You declare before you roll. You get to roll extra dice. However, you can still only take the maximum number of dice you would normally be allowed. For instance, our sailor, desperately trying to untie this knot, really needs to do this and do it quickly. So instead of just rolling 4d6, they choose to use a help. They will roll 5d6 and pick the highest 4. That way, they have a greater chance of success. That is basically the rules for the entire game. Any other little things you'll learn as we go along. It's very, very, very simple. But a little bit about where we are and what has been happening thus far. The story thus far. The year is 1938. Our players are all members of an organization called SAVE. They are already experienced operatives for the SAVE organization. The SAVE organization's head, or at least the figurehead that they know of, Gordon Pym, has asked them to come to the Isle of Skye off the west coast of Scotland to investigate a series of supernatural happenings. They have been tracking through on the Isle of Skye. They have encountered the Beast of Odal Pass and defeated it. Heard some rumors about possible occult activities. Followed up on that. Ended up at Dunvegan Castle at the home of the 28th chieftain of the Clan MacLeod. Yes, that MacLeod. Her name is Madame Flora MacLeod. Subsequently, by the way, historically, she will eventually become Dame MacLeod. She is knighted historically as we go along. There they encountered yet another creature in an ancient Stone Age fortress called a Brock. They managed to put that spirit to rest by returning an old pitted rusted sword that had been removed from the Brock, and once they did, the spirit disappeared. However, they did also discover more occult paraphernalia in and around when they did this. Black candle stubs, that sort of thing. So let us hear what our players have to say about all of this. Let us start with Dr. Montana Smith. Dr. Smith, welcome back.
Hello. I have an incredibly important question for you, Gloom Master.
Indeed.
Do I get any hit points back from last week's?
Not yet. We're picking up right where we left off.
All right.
All right.
Although I have to say, dealing with an irate yet amenable ghost was the best paranormal experience I have yet had while doing any field work for SAVE.
Certainly the least deadly encounter you've had so far, although its grip almost touched your heart, and luckily you made some rolls and did not suffer a potentially fatal heart attack when that occurred.
One of the only good rolls I had the entire time.
And thank goodness
Last
it was
week.
that one. We also have with us Lucas Evans.
Hello. Wait, I'm in character now. Hold on. Yes.
There you go.
I'm also likely to suffer a heart attack thanks to the delicious foods that Scotland has to offer. The blood pudding, the sausage, all of the very strong alcohol that we have consumed, and yes, very, very agreeable Spectre. We've made some more friends in the town, and gotten to know a little bit more about Aiden and what he's been up to, Aiden McDonald, and yes,
that is something that we've only just briefly touched upon. Aiden McDonald, the scion of a rival clan who once laid claim to the Isle of Skye, and who still live on the Isle of Skye, has been implicated in this occult activity. Aiden McDonald. We also have with us Speedy Pete Boyd. pilot extraordinaire of the Loon.
The Loon, a seaplane, a float plane, and currently parked off the dock on the lock next to Flora's beautiful estate. I have promised her a sightseeing trip of the skies over her lands, and I'm hoping she takes me up on it.
Indeed, and I hope you take her up in it. So, we also
Yes,
have...
how that works.
That is how that works. That's generally how air travel works. We also have with us Dr. Sabine Clément, who was unfortunately very busy last week tending to poor Jude the butler. Lady Flora's butler had his leg broken by one of the horses that kicked him. Freak accident, but she has him on the mend now. You've spent the day in the castle while tending to Jude, who has recovered significantly under your administrations.
But of course.
We rolled for you in your absence, and you did incredibly well.
How very grand of me.
Indeed. So I'm going to give you a moment if you all want to catch up on what you have discovered as you arrived back at Castle Dunvegan with Lady Flora, who went to the burial site at the Broch with you, and actually handed over the sword at your I don't forget who. I think you suggested it.
Yeah,
one of you suggested it, I believe.
yeah.
And oh yes, Lucas suggested it, and indeed, she is the one that handed the sword back. She is in awe of her experience. Gets you back. Excuses herself for a few moments while she checks on Jude and the rest of the staff at the castle to prepare dinner. So if you have anything you wish to share information-wise with each other.
Well, I think we just found another coin purse for save.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe another benefactor.
Yeah.
To
plus that ghost wasn't too thrilled with young Aiden. So
a ghost?
Yeah.
Yes, we had a very eventful trip up to the Broch.
Do you want to see my surprised face?
Wait,
that's just being French.
You don't look surprised at all. Oh, I get it now. Okay. Yeah, we had a very eventful trip up to the Broch. It turns out it's a burial site. Looks a lot like that.
Near the lock.
And one of the previous residents of the Broch was buried with his sword, and then someone else came along and took his sword.
Oh la la.
And we recovered it for him, and the specter was thankful, was appreciative, and went from being very angry and belligerent to just despairing. So,
well, that's very good.
And we also discovered in there that someone had been attempting to potentially wake up the specter using some cult magic.
Yeah, there was some strange lights and some chanting heard the locals heard going on up in the Broch. So we have visual confirmation. Aiden was seen there, along with our strange, mysterious friend from the islands.
Yeah, and one other person.
And another person?
Was there three? I thought it was just the
there
two
was
of them.
three. There was one other person. Our sailor friend did not get a good didn't have much more. No, that was the policeman who told it. One of the two.
Well, okay. I mean, this is not entirely unexpected, so... Jude's leg is doing quite better.
Oh, good. Maybe he can make breakfast for us. I'm kidding.
Oh, you don't want her ladyship to make breakfast again?
No,
See?
I already offered to take that duty if we're here another morning.
Oh,
Ah.
la.
Well, it is evening, and Jude is stumping about the kitchen, apparently much well on the mend, thanks to Dr. Sabine's ministrations. He's got a plaster cast on his leg, even.
Pardon, can I tell if anybody has any injuries?
Guess you just fixed him. Oh, you mean
No,
of your
of our
your
gang.
friends?
Of my cohort.
Yeah, we did pretty good. We did.
Huzzah!
I mean, Monty got ghost touched, but
It happens.
Ghost touched?
yeah, a ghost touched Monty.
Yeah.
Pretty
Kind of made my heart flutter a few times, and
But you're okay now, yes?
I'm probably fine.
Oh, delightful, okay.
He is
Yeah.
allegedly fine.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
If I've died, no one's told me yet.
Great. Likewise.
Madame Flora returns, and the Lady Flora returns. The dinner is served. Some lovely roast boar, actually.
Mm.
And she says, where then, now that that's taken care of, obviously Aiden is gonna be in a bit of a twit, isn't he?
He's playing with powers of which he cannot possibly fathom.
That would explain why he came here to tell me I better relent or I'll be sorry.
Now, his strange friends that he seems to have picked up, did they come with him when he was?
He came here alone from Vatten, the village that is down the way, right across from the Broch. He was here by himself. So if he's with someone, he didn't bring him here.
I'm concerned that I mean, I know he's maybe a little rough around the edges, but I'm concerned that he's not acting entirely of his own. He might be being convinced by outside forces to do what to be as aggressive.
Hey, that may be, but he's always been very confrontational with myself and my family. He's very adamant about his father's claim to the land.
Is his father still alive?
He's an old man now, but he still is. He's a perfectly fine and quiet chap. He lives down at the southeastern end of the island.
I found the castle cat.
There's a cat.
I never have any problem. He's down at the Slate is where he lives, and he's never given me any grief, but his son is.
Well,
don't mind the cat. It's wandering around here. I've got 5 of them around the castle. I see you found one.
Oh, Dr. Sabine. That's
Orange cats love me. They find me often.
I indeed.
So, shall we?
Don't feed him any table scraps now. He'll get too fat.
Oh, I shan't. I will not. Le petit chat. C'est très mauvais. What were we talking about?
Well,
I think we were talking about Aiden and his father. Aye.
Sabine's gun native.
Should we maybe think about visiting Aiden's father?
I think that would be a good choice.
I think so too.
Perhaps. But what if Aiden himself is there?
What is what?
What if Aiden himself is there? We do not want to. I mean, are we ready for that confrontation?
Well, being ready for a confrontation hasn't really stopped us before.
That is very true.
But we are certainly going into this with a little bit more information than we usually have.
That is also very true. The question is, should we go tonight or should we go tomorrow?
What time of day is it right now?
The sun is set. It is almost 7 p.m. At this point.
What time did we what time were we around that pass, friends? When we had our little we first got here.
It was at night. It was when we confronted the beast.
Yes, when you confronted the beast of Odo Pass. Yes, that was
nighttime.
That was like early morning, late evening, because you took a walk.
Mm-hmm.
It was after midnight.
After midnight. Okay,
I believe it was. If I'm recalling correctly.
I agree.
I figured I for some reason I thought it was just after sunset. So
what's the weather like
4
right
p.m.
now?
The weather currently, it's in the upper 40s.
Cloudy.
It's the Isle of Skye. It's always cloudy.
Okay.
It is just to remind you, it is March 19th currently.
That's right.
Which is a bit chilly. The Isle of Skye is pretty consistent throughout most of the year in that it's in the 40s, maybe the 50s, usually windy, rainy, cloudy.
Well, I was just hoping for one of those rare clear nights where a really great plane could fly over an area where I don't know, there was a road and a pass where weird stuff was seen. But that's probably maybe not the best idea if it's super cloudy.
It's very cloudy. I would imagine that we should probably take our rest this evening. If Dr. Smith has been ghost touched, we do not want a fluttery heart if we are about to go into another situation.
Just lets you know you're alive. I mean, if it's fluttering, you're
The
technically
art should
still
not-
alive.
The art should not be fluttering.
Oh, but Dr. Clement, when you're there.
All right, you two.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Oh, excellent.
I'm sorry,
Good to
should I
know.
go somewhere? Am I interrupted in anything?
Oh, your ladyship. I
Please.
forgot you were there.
I didn't. I remembered I was here.
Okay.
Well, if you two
are more
are-
than welcome to spend another night here. That is no problem.
Thank you
your ladyship.
so much
That
for
is
your
very kind.
hospitality. Yeah.
Is there some kind of we've looked around all of your relics. Is there perhaps I don't know, do you have books about Scottish mythology?
I indeed. I actually run a Scottish Preservation Society. I go down to Parliament every once in a while and advocate for such things. I have an entire library that you're more than welcome to peruse.
I think that'd be a very good idea. So, well, we've talked about the beast now, and I want to look through some stuff to see if I can't find some pictures of something similar.
Of something similar to what?
Of something we've seen.
Oh, I indeed. Well, you're more than welcome. If you follow me, I'll just show you the way. And she leads you into a library. It's a library in a castle. They are and it's been constantly occupied, this castle, for centuries. As a result, there is quite a collection. It's not as vast and as grand as, say, I just walked into Trinity College or something like that. But it is still fairly extensive. There you are. There is a book there on the table that gives you a rough idea of what's in what section. my late husband was categorizing all the books hereabouts to try just to make a little bit of sense of them. That the science books are in one area, and there's classic literature in another, and so on. But we're not fancy like a full-blown library. I don't have a card catalog, but I do have that little ledger where he was inventorying things. I keep meaning to go back to it, but you're more than welcome. Jude will be around with some tea if anybody likes. In a wee bit. I am going to hand myself off to bed. It's a very exciting evening.
To help Jude on the mend. I don't want him carrying around that tray of tea for us on our.
Oh, he has a cart.
Just make some.
He's
have
got a
some
cart,
coffee
happens.
brewing, and we'll be good. Well, I'm just trying to be thoughtful.
Oh, that's very nice.
Thank you.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm here for you, buddy.
Thank you, Your Ladyship. We shall. Yes, thank you.
And then I will see you in the morning. Have a pleasant evening. Make sure you extinguish the lights here when you're done.
Absolutely.
It's lit by lamps.
Ah,
Ooh, fancy.
I was thinking that maybe that was a different way to say it in English, but okay.
Well, all right, book nerds, let's get cracking, huh?
All right. Welcome to my domain.
Before anybody rolls anything, Lucas, you said you were looking specifically for pictures of creatures that you might have seen.
Yeah.
Is there anything else anyone else wants to research here in the library?
Local mythology.
Very well.
And anything dealing with occult practices, magic, just like generic things. Like, so I'm expecting I'm going to be up for a little while.
J. Jonah Jameson insists you find some more pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a photographer, but I'll do my best.
I think I should like to see if there are any maybe geographical places here on the islands that are particularly noteworthy of
Very well.
of magic stuff.
Very good. Any mystical locations here on the Isle?
Of course.
And Speedy, anything in particular?
I guess I'll look for charts. Just gonna get a better lay of the land.
All right. Very good. Each of you roll your appropriate skill. Dr. Sabine, your occult skill, I would think would be most appropriate. Dr. Smith, obviously archaeology.
This
Lucas,
is just a 2 for me. This is
yeah. Speedy, if you're looking at charts, you could roll a 4.
All right.
And I'm going to use a help as well, if that's okay.
Very good. You have a ton of helps lying around, folks.
10.
Oof. There is a mouse in my room.
18.
Dr. Smith, 10 for Lucas Evans, and what was that, Sabine?
I got very distracted by something because I rolled an 8.
Very well. And Speedy?
A 23.
So dear God.
6665.
That's not ominous at all.
The dice of the beast.
Yeah.
666A, the tenant of the beast.
That's a high walk up.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Oh, it's actually down.
7 across the street from the beast.
Let's start with Dr. Clément. There are a ton of places that all have mystical, fantastic, fae references constantly. Some notable ones include the fairy pools, which are to the south of you. That are it's a stream that comes off of the Black Coon Mountains, rumored to be created by fairies. There is the Beast of Odal Pass, which you already knew about. That's a more recent one that came about in the 1700s. 1800s. There's also there's the Storr, which is a bizarre rock formation on the eastern coast, north of Portree, by about 2 to 3 miles. So those are places that stick out at you as you are perusing through, that have legendary. I mean, the whole island is steeped in legerdemain, but that's those are your big points.
Okay.
Lucas Evans, you were looking through. You do find a description of the Beast of Odal Pass, which is vague. It describes it as a dog. It describes it as a man. It describes it as a man with a hook, a dog with a hook, a man with a horn, a dog with a horn. There are several different. There's no one clear-cut description, but reading the attendant text, what you do get out of it is that it was generally believed to have been the spirit of a man who was murdered, who came back to seek vengeance on his murderer. A worker on the Odal Road was found dead, and there were no more sightings of that beast until just 2 weeks ago. Like 100 years, no one saw that creature again. And suddenly it came back. And now it's gone again. Speedy Pete Boyd, you have determined all of the good places where you could possibly put down your plane. So when it gets to the point where they want to fly somewhere, I will be able to tell you exactly how close you can get easily and comfortably and safely.
Great.
And Dr. Smith, you were looking at legends and lore. Is that primarily?
Legends and lore, yeah.
Well, some of what Dr. Claymont has been told, you also know about the fairy pools, about the beast. You find out about the Storr. It's a rock formation. There's one in a particularly large monolithic pillar on the side of the mountain that's called the Old Man of Storr. Many different legends about why it's called that and what it is. Some people say it looks like a man. Some people say it's a giant's finger, a giant that got turned to stone. Then the legends as far as how it came to be, one says some fairies took pity on an old man whose wife had died and turned him into stone so he could always be there watching over her gravesite. Another one says it was two giants fighting. Another one says that there was a giant who was fleeing from a demon. He was being pursued by a demon, and when he turned back to see where the demon was, it caught him and turned him to stone.
Okay.
There appears to be some vague reference to Norse mythology in there as well, with that last one.
All right. It's not particularly helpful at the moment, but take what I can get. All right. Anybody finding anything great?
Not particularly, just some places around.
I mean, just it's a murdered, possibly a murdered specter.
Okay.
So what do we think? Do we think Aiden did something that woke it up? And if so, what? It sounds like maybe the original version was out for vengeance and got it, and that's why it went away.
I do want to point out that these were all separate legends and entities. I also forgot to mention when you're looking up Dr. Smith, basically, the creature at the Brock matches the description of a of a white of a drugger, a dead warrior who has come back.
Okay.
But that is definitely those are separate, clearly separate legends. Those legends are not tied together in the materials that you have all been reading. All these seem to be separate individual legends.
Okay.
Anybody? Anything that's germane?
Not particularly for me, except for the thing about
Not since the Jackson 5 broke up.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Thank you.
Yeah. He was good Saint Germain too, so that's fine.
Hold on, we gotta wait for the audience to stop busting up. We gotta
Hold for laughs.
Okay, there. Yeah.
All right.
all right.
Well, if we're waiting for him to come back, should we just all say, "Oh, baby, I really want you back"?
It's easy as 1, 2, 3.
Baby, just give me one more chance.
Anyway, so I did not find anything particularly prescient except for things about the fairy pools and the big rocks, lots of rocks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we still have a little bit more than what we came in with. So.
Okay.
Well, personally, I think I'm going to go to bed.
I think so too.
Yeah, let's get some sleep, and we'll go visit the dad in the morning.
I think that is a good idea.
Yes, Speedy, you know you can easily put the plane down. There is, in fact, at Aird, there is there's a castle there as well, and it's there's a little inlet right there that you could, much like here. It has it clearly the old castle has its own like little jetty.
And whose castle is that? Obviously, it's not one of the McLeod.
That is owned by the. I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's Armadale.
Armadale?
Armadale, Armadale. It's close to Aird, yeah. But technically, it is Armadale Castle. That is the seat of the McDonald's.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Well, good night, everyone.
The evening passes uneventfully. Unless
Gloom
you want
Master,
to do
I'm gonna stay up for a bit and keep going through the library, see if I find anything helpful.
What are you? What avenue of research are you particularly going for? This is a room full of books.
Ancient religious practices.
All right, give me a roll.
Oh, so low. Oh god, no. That was only an 8.
Your eyes begin to get bleary. It's been a long day. Your heart was brushed by a ghost.
All right.
I just realized something that I want to research.
Yes.
She's halfway to bed, and then comes running back in. Wait a minute, I thought.
Yes.
Do not extinguish the lamps.
Would like to research if there are any sort of folk healing practices against the supernatural or occult practices. Does that make sense?
Sure, go ahead.
Great. Shall I do my occult?
Yes, go ahead.
12.
I mean, just general medieval Scottish and English folk remedies.
Great. So leeches and bloodletting, eh?
That and weaving daisy chains and that sort of thing to ward off evil spirits, that kind of thing. Throw salt over your shoulder, etc.
Okay.
Very good.
All right.
In the morning, Jude has prepared breakfast. Another fine English breakfast, British breakfast
Scottish.
laid out before you. Beans, eggs, sausage, black pudding, white pudding, haggis.
This is my favorite part of the game.
Rashers of bacon.
The menu. Oh.
The part of the show where we just turn into the first 3/4 of a recipe blog. It's just like
all right, jump to recipe, and we're at the monster.
Now you're looking to fight an ancient monster, but first you're going to need to fill your belly with some good Scots breakfast. Now, first, my friends, let me tell you about a time I stayed in a castle up in the Isle of Skye. Now,
Boner pills for sale. Boner pills for sale.
oh.
NordVPN.
I would love them to be a sponsor for this. That'd be amazing.
Indeed. So, what is the game plan, my friends?
Well, we're gonna go see Old MacDonald
Stop.
at his farm.
Okay. So, Speedy.
Yeah.
Well,
Are you
let me pull up the map.
E-I-E-I.
I think,
E-I-E-I-E-O.
Speedy's he's already 30 minutes ahead of everybody else, and he's already out prepping the plane. Cup of coffee in one hand.
Lady Flora is there,
Oh,
admiring the plane as you arrive.
yes, and you can see the this is the engine here. We got to make sure it's tuned up, ready to go.
Aye, indeed. Would it be bold of me to ask if I could go with you down to Armadale?
I would love that.
I have not seen Hamish in a long time.
It'd be my honor to have you aboard my humble vessel.
I will. I can make arrangements for for Jude to meet us down there with the carriage. Well, Jude won't, but he'll have one of the one of the stable lads ride down there. That way, you don't have to worry about bringing me back wherever your travels may take you. But I would like to go down and see MacDonald and talk to him and find out about his son. It's a little concerning, and I haven't been to that side of the island in a couple of years. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, it'd be nice to show some concern.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll let me get a coat, and I'll meet you back here. And sure enough, you all meet, and she's all bundled up in not an extravagant coat, a very nice coat, but not, it's not like a giant mink or anything like that. But it's a nice fur-lined coat, and she's all bundled up. She's got a little bag with her. She says, I'll just he's going to meet me down there. Connor's going to bring the carriage on down there. He should be down there in probably about 3 or 4 hours. So plenty of time.
Well, fabulous. Welcome aboard, and we'll give you a little tour as we do.
Let me just move my guns. I'm sorry.
Can't be too. After what I saw last night, can't be too careful. Just to give you an idea of where you are to where you're going, You see up there on this overlay I've put on the left-hand side in the upper left quadrant, there's an indentation, Loch Dunvegan, and then Dunvegan is marked in there, in that little inlet. That's where you are now. You'll be flying to the southeast, which is the bottom right corner. I will pull up a close-up of there. You were down in this area before. Between those, in that those pink raised areas is where the Beast of Odal Pass was located. Broadford, where you first arrived, is up there in the upper center. And if you look down on that peninsula that juts to the south, you will see that Armadale is down there. That is where you are flying to.
Fabulous.
So again, you're only going about 10 miles in the air, in a straight line over the island. It's not that huge. But it is not raining, but it is a little cloudy, and it is a mountainous island. So, Speedy, I do think you do need to give us a little bit of a check here, just in case.
I would love to also take a little bit of time, since it's only 10 miles and we're going up anyway. We'll do a loop, an aerial circle of her estates, so she can see it from above.
Well, there's the entire island.
Wow, we're really high.
Yes, you can't breathe. No oxygen. You will die.
Oh no!
But that gives you a rough idea of the entire island.
Yeah.
You just want to go around, circle the island.
Yeah, at least pass over the places that we that are of interest to us. So we'll do a lap around Dunvegan so she can see her estates. But then I'd also like to pass over Portree and pass over Broadford.
Okay. The other places of note that you've mentioned, if you look just north of Portree, if you go up along that coast, that's where Storr is.
Oh, of course.
Right up along that coast. And then the ferry pools are down toward that indentation, that there's a name down there, the Carl something.
Carboost?
Yes.
Carboost?
Okay.
Carboost, yes. Right
And
down around in there.
You
is
said
where the ferry pools are.
The pink areas are like the kind of mauve areas. That's mountainous. That's elevation.
Yeah. Anything not green is somewhat mountainous.
All right.
Do you take a great interest in aviation, your ladyship?
Oh, I've flown a bit here and there. I often go to down to London to petition Parliament on behalf of the Scots folk. So I've flown afore. I just never had it's usually I take a ferry over to the mainland and then fly from there. So I don't often get a chance to fly over my own home.
Our Speedy
This is
here
gorgeous.
is very accommodating, is he not?
This is a wonderful experience. I never would have appreciated my own home without seeing it in total like this. It really is beautiful.
It gets a lovely perspective, does it not?
Aye, indeed. It looks so vast and yet also so small at the same time.
That is very true.
Bigger on the inside.
Was there anywhere in particular you wanted to swing by, Pete, or to linger at? Oh, the cat snuck onto the plane. I'm terribly sorry. He's very curious.
Oh no!
He gets everywhere. Don't worry, I'll take him with me back to the castle.
Delightful.
Rufus, that was naughty of you, Rufus.
Oh,
I think he is a good luck charm, yes?
that's adorable. Yep.
He has a lot to say, yes?
Well, cats, they know the supernatural.
They do indeed. Perhaps we should take him along with us and he can roll with us.
Yes. They have a nose for that sort of thing.
As you are flying, she's also asking you about save and all of that, getting the rundown of what you know, because she is intensely curious now that she has met the supernatural.
And we're allowed to tell her this sort of stuff.
No one said you can't.
Yeah, she seems like
Yeah, I kind of sussed out that like out of all the people here, she might be a good contact to have, and you know, um, just I'm just giving a little bit of basically the same kind of rundown that you give our listeners, Gloommaster, a little bit about like once you've we've all kind of tussled with the supernatural one way or the other, and that's kind of how we got involved. So, I mean,
Well, I have been with Save since I was a child.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh yes, my parents were murdered by a loup-garou,
I'm so
a
sorry.
werewolf,
Oh, my
and
gosh.
Monsieur Pym saved my life.
Well, I'm very glad he did, but oh
Me
my
as well.
gosh, that's terrible. Did you
I was
witness
very
this?
small. Yes, I did.
Oh.
And that is why I became a doctor.
Well,
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
so I have nothing but good things to say about Save as an organization. Yes, this is my lore.
we will be we'll do an official debriefing once we take care of this. But this you're part of a bigger world now.
Indeed.
I thought I was a part of a big world, and now I've discovered that there are even more layers.
There always are.
Oh, and look
Just
right
like
down
the
there.
layers
That's
to Mr. Speedy.
that. Look right down there. If you look down there, I see you're flying us over the fairy pools. You can see them. Look how bright and blue they are.
Woo! The fairy pools.
That's
They come
beautiful.
right down off the mountains there, and they run on down by. There's a distillery at the bottom there. You can see that big gray building.
A distillery, you say?
Yeah, that's the Talisker Distillery right there.
I think you got
That is
Luke's
right.
attention.
Is there anything that they say about the property of the water in the fairy pools?
Perhaps we should investigate some spirits.
I do
That
not
meant
think
two things.
that
Yes,
is
it did.
the kind of spirit that. Are there ghosts?
Oh, the fairy pools are mainly they're mentioned to be, inhabited by the Fey folk, the She, but nothing ill I've ever heard from of that whole area. The Black Coon Mountains themselves, those big basalt things there that the fairy pools running down through, they're dangerous to hike through just because of they're so steep, and it can get quite windy, and people can get trapped there if anything slides down the mountain. And but I don't know of any necessarily supernatural things there.
Oh la la. Fair enough.
Have you seen Storr?
I've not, no.
Oh, Mr. Boyd, if I may, and she points on the chart. Up over here, that's Storr. If you've never seen it, it's amazing, and it's even more amazing, I'm told, from the air.
Well, let's go.
Again, it takes you 7-8 minutes to fly there. It does not take very long. And Storr looks a little. I think I have a good picture of it here. Where is? There you go.
Ah,
Again,
yes.
just your vacation photos.
Yeah.
Okay.
They might be. They might.
Why do I feel like it is using a rude gesture at me?
It does look a
to
little,
give you a sense of scale, if you look down at the base of that pillar, there is a human standing there.
That is a person.
That is a person. That gives you some better idea of scale.
Oh
That
my.
is a very big rock.
It is huge.
It looks so tiny. Like I could squeeze it.
And as you fly over it, you can see that there's a basically like almost like a goat trail that winds its way up to there. and you see a tent pitched in amongst the rocks as you fly over.
We do.
Yes.
Oh. Well, your ladyship,
Aye.
do you expect people to be camping out in this part of the world?
Well, that is a wee bit unusual. There's not. I mean, people are allowed to come and go as they please on the Isle. Are you familiar with our crofter laws?
I am not.
Uh, So, a couple hundred years ago, all of the nobility started fencing off all of the pasture land as their own. And after a wee bit of a tussle and a bit of a insurrection, laws were passed that you have in other parts of the world trespassing laws on land. We don't have them here. You are allowed to freely walk wherever you want in Scotland. Not into private residences, but as far as land goes, you are granted by right the ability to walk across it. So there's nothing illegal about them camping up there. I don't imagine. I might see people up there in the summer, but this is spring is tomorrow morning. And
Your ladyship,
it's a
yeah.
little chilly.
When it comes to the area that we're in, stuff that seems a bit unusual usually is.
Can we tell if there are any people down there?
Let's take a closer look.
Flying around, you don't see anyone. It's a like a pavilion style tent. So it's got the vertical walls. It's not like a teepee structure. It's got vertical walls and a top. It's probably maybe 12 foot by 8 foot ish. It's not perfectly square. And flying around it, you see that there's a what appears to be a campfire out front that is not burning. It's just a you can see a scarred piece of earth and the charcoal in the middle, but you don't see anybody about it.
Does this look like an excavation tent?
More like a campaign tent kind of thing.
Okay.
Like an officer's campaign tent, so it's a little bit bigger.
So it doesn't look like a camping enthusiast tent. It looks more like a
no, it does not.
Military, perhaps, or something along those lines.
Perhaps.
Okay. So are we still...
being on archaeological digs, you would not be surprised to see a tent like this at those places.
Yeah,
you don't see any active digging sites or anything, but that's that kind of tent.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, do we investigate or do we go see Mr. McDonald?
Okay, now let's dose.
Yeah. Well, we did promise her ladyship.
Yeah,
my carriage is meeting me at Armadale.
Yeah, we have to go there.
So I guess we shall go to Armadale.
But how far of like a walk is it to this place? Can't be a couple more than a couple miles.
So it's only about 2 miles, a mile and a half, 2 miles north of Portree. Armadale is about 5-6 miles south of Portree.
Okay.
So not terribly far.
Well, I imagine we'd have to go. Like, I imagine us going to Portree after the visit would be where I was going to suggest anyway. So after that, after we visit with Lord MacDonald, we go back to Portree and see what's going on there. I mean, for all we know, there could have been another attack. Lucas is kind of expecting. We've been away from that place for a minute. Maybe, the animal has shown itself again.
Okay. So on to Lord MacDonald.
Very good. There's a little cove. It's called Armadale Bay that you land in. There's a little very small little jetty area that's like maybe like 3 individual docks sticking out. As you're coming in and approaching, Lady Flora does say, there is a ferry that comes through to the mainland, and it does deposit people here upon occasion. So this is not a disused area by any stretch.
Delightful.
Excellent.
Give me a piloting roll, Speedy.
I'm going to use the help on this just because I really want to not botch this in front of
That's probably good.
her ladyship.
Well, I mean, you also got a really good that you also know all of the areas that you saw on the map.
Mm-hmm. 19.
19. You come in for a nice fine landing. The water is relatively calm here on the eastern side, spared from the buffeting on the west coast.
Well
Although-
done, Mr. Speedy. Lady Flora, is he not just so skilled?
That was that is probably one of the better landings I've ever experienced. Of course, normally they're landing on a gravel runway, but
indeed. You should see what happens when he gets slungshot off of the bow of a ship.
I'm
Dr.
beg your pardon.
Sabine. It's not a euphemism.
that's not the French thing.
No.
No.
We spent some time in the Pacific, and we made some friends with a military vessel, and they launched us off of their aircraft carrier.
Good heavens!
It was quite exhilarating, was it not, Mr. Speedy?
It was quite a thrill. I recommend you try it sometime.
I'd love to. I know not if the Royal Navy would be so accommodating, but I'd love to.
Dr. Sabine, have you ever flown? Are you interested in flying a plane? Because you're a pretty good wingman. I can't help but notice.
What can I say?
She's his wingman now.
What can I say? I'm French.
Yeah. Okay.
Sacre bleu. Well, here we are at Old MacDonald's farm.
The castle itself is just north of the little village of Armadale. It's less than a mile of a walk, and it's along the coast road. It is it's not as big as Dunvegan. Much of it is in a ruined state. The main house is still intact, but a lot of the outlying structures are overgrown with ivy. They're not falling down, but they are obviously not used. But as you approach, there's a footman comes to the door. Hey, can I help you? Oh, your ladyship. And he bows his head to Flora. Hey, would you tell Hamish I'm here to say hello, and I brought some friends. Aye, madam. He comes back out a moment later and says, this way, please. And escorts you into there's a great hall in the middle, which you would expect in a castle. And one corner of it has been made into like a cozy, like study area. It's like the rest of it's just old open stone, but tucked in the corner, there's carpeting, there's some bookshelves, there's some lamps on the table, and there is a tray set out with various whiskeys, beverages, that sort of thing. And there is an old man sitting in the chair, who rises slowly to his feet, a bit of a creak and a groan to his back. He is probably in his middle 70s, and island life has been hard for him. He stands up. He says, "Hey, welcome, Lady Flora. It's good to see you. I've not seen you in quite some time. Please come in and introduce me to your friends. Hey, well, these are friends of mine, and they've been staying at my estate, and I hadn't visited in so long, and they wanted to talk to you about some things, so I thought I would join them. We are worried about Aiden. Perhaps all of you could explain.
He's been, well, he's been seeing with some unsavory characters, folks that we've had some difficulties with, and we just want to make sure that we just um, we just want to check in, talk to him, ask him some questions.
Oh, that boy of mine. He's not been here very often. He's been out running around. He made some new friends.
Yeah, tell us about these friends.
Yeah, do you know them at all? Have you met them?
He had him here once, and they've not been back. I can't say I was particularly hospitable to him. They struck me as odd. They didn't do anything necessarily. The one, he was pawing through all my books, barely knew me, and started looking through everything. The other one was a big fella. He looked Pacific of some from the islands of some sort, but he was a big man. He had a strange vest on too. It looked almost like it was cinched together in the front with almost like little padlocks down the front of his vest. It was the strangest thing. He just stood there quiet like the entire time. The Aiden was rambling on about the glory of Clan MacDonald, and I told him, what glory? We're the leftovers of an ancient system. We're just here, and why not make the most of it and just be good neighbors, and maybe drum up a little tourism, and just have a nice, relaxed life. I'm getting toward 75, and I'm ready to just enjoy myself instead of worrying about everything.
Did you happen to get their names?
No, the one though, the other gentleman, not the big fella, the other one, he spoke English, but it was very accented. It sounded Russian or Slavic or something, or some such. It was definitely Eastern European. It sounded. I couldn't tell you where from.
I don't know.
He said, "Oh wait, he did tell me a name. What was the name?" He must have been Polish because it ended in a ski, something ski. What were it now? What were it now? Jablonski, Mr. Jablonski.
Jablonski?
Jablonski, I think with a J.
Pardon, your lordship, could you tell me what kinds of books he was looking at?
I also want to do a check with my my primary skill, if that's a name that rings any bells with anybody.
Go ahead, Evan. Evans, Dr. Sabine, he says, he was just snooping through everything. He would pick a book off the shelf. He would look at the title, open it up, read a few pages, shake his head, and put it back.
15.
15? No, that name does not ring a bell. It's not any criminal enterprise or anything that you know of.
The description of the, as you put it, Pacific Islanders vest. Does that sound familiar? Like what we would have seen in the past? Or?
It does not. It does not. It does not link at all to the other things you heard about before, or the people you met previously. It does not.
Okay.
That's new.
Okay. Locks down the vest.
So, what's we've been away at we've been staying with Lady Flora. What's
So she
been
said.
what's the what's been happening in the villages? When we first arrived, there were a couple of recent deaths.
Aye. Some folk up. The two gentlemen walking around up on the old Odo Pass Road there. Aye, I heard about that.
Has anybody else been hurt?
Oh, not that I know of. No more than usual fishing boat accident, that sort of thing. Nothing like that though. That's been recent.
Lord McDonald,
Hey,
I understand that your son has been consorting with some interesting folks lately. Do you know if they or he know anything about old occult arcane practices? Maybe any summonings that you would do with wax candles?
I don't know about that. I do know that Aiden has been taken to going to the mainland and visiting old bookshops. He's always asking money for more books, but he never puts them in my library. He just keeps them for himself, whatever he's buying. And I see he's always got like little amulets and dingly dangly bits on him anymore. Whenever he does happen to come by.
Where is he? Where is he now? We also came to talk to him. Is he around?
Last I knew, he was up in Portree. He asked for some money, something about buying a tent or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The tent.
Well, Lady Flora,
Hey there,
Lord McDonald. I feel like you two have a bit to catch up on. We were planning on heading up to Portree anyway. Perhaps we let you two catch up, and we see if we can find Aiden and have a word with him.
if you do, you tell him that he should come home and check in with his dad, aye?
Absolutely.
Aye.
We're mostly concerned with his safety.
But before we leave, your lordship, how is your health?
Oh, we old Scottish lords such as we are. We the chieftains are a tough lot. We're just a little arthritic.
Arthritic? Okay. There's not much I can do for that, unfortunately.
Aye, the doctors on the mainland can't either. Thank you, lass.
You know, if you ever need to spend some time in a warmer climate, I might be able to find you accommodations.
Well, that's awfully nice of you. If you find my son and you bring him on back down here, we can talk more, right?
That'd be fantastic.
Indeed.
Yeah, you're decent folk. You're welcome in my home.
Merci
thank you, sir.
beaucoup,
Thank
your
you.
lordship.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Aye, mine as well. But Flora, let's go for a walk in the gardens, and you tell me, how are your gardens up in Dunvegan? Oh, I recently planted some more willows, and they wander off to talk.
I go over to Speedy. Hey. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Dr. Sabine. I'm amazed at your subtlety and your
Well,
your-
listen, I am French. You are not working fast enough,
I'm
obviously.
well, I thought we were here to take care of important business.
Speaking of
As-
taking care of business and working fast, how fast can you get those props up and running?
Yeah,
Let's go. Shall we go crash someone's campsite?
I know
let's
someone you would
avoid
like
the
to
word
crash
crash.
the campsite.
Let's
Yes.
safely arrive there.
Yeah.
You don't want to drop in, Lucas?
No, I don't. I'm slightly tipsy.
Of course you are. Too much of that, what it was called, Talisker?
Happy birthday.
Of course you are. It's 11 a.m.
Hey, I also had a full meal, so it's
Yeah, the meal is called breakfast, man.
A very good sausage base.
Does this look like a beach trip in Ocean City, Maryland? Does it?
All right, let's get the plane up. So start getting it ready to fly.
Very well. You arrive in Portree. It's at this point, it's only 1 p.m. by the time you arrive there. Again, there's a nice little harbor right there. It's Loch Portree. This one's a little bit more. This is the largest town on the Isle of Skye. You've been here before. You talked to the
policeman,
the constable. So you have
as well?
re-arrived.
Excellent. Well, let's get our stuff and let's head out to that campsite.
Yeah, let us go. I am armed only with my bag.
Lucas,
yes.
do you have anything? Do you have a spare pistol?
Yeah, I've got a little snub nose for you.
Thanks.
So, Dr. Sabine just has her medical bag. Dr. Smith, you have the snub-nose revolver from Lucas. Mm-hmm. Lucas, what are you carrying?
I've got because I'm a little bit more wary now. I've got a knife, and I have like he like it's another pistol, but it's my bigger one.
Like a 1911.
Yeah.
All right. They're fairly common at this point that you could get one without too much difficulty. I mean, not here, but
right.
You could have one.
I was thinking about bringing the sawed off, but.
And Speedy, you have your dive knife.
Yep, just got
Very
the
good.
dive
knife. You're in Portree. You have just landed. It is about 1 p.m. What would you like to do?
Shall we head out to where we saw the campsite?
Yes.
You think so?
Do we want to stop in a pub or anything to see if he is here?
No.
I kind of hope he is, and we could get to his campsite without him there, because then we can search his stuff.
Hopefully
That's
that
fair.
would be the case.
Yeah.
All right.
To the campsite.
Dracula's stepdaughter, the Gloommaster is using a help for no particular reason.
Oh, well then.
That is great. I love that. That is perfect.
Or is he burning a help?
Right.
Mm?
He's determining if Lord MacDonald and Lady Flora have a pleasant day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's not determining if
he's rolling for
my ghost-touched heart is gonna explode or anything.
He's
I
rolling.
think I have a cream for that.
Rolling for chit chat.
Yes. I was rolling for Lady Flora small talking Lord MacDonald.
Have you guys played the one sheet of My Dinner with Andre? It's not good.
Oh, but do you have My Dinner with Andre action figures?
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
I got the deluxe edition with the ejector seats. It's
so you have the diorama as well?
Oh yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Lucas
very
Evans
well.
does.
We have fun here.
We do.
Yeah, Steve-O doesn't. Lucas Evans actually has it.
Yeah. I have action figures for a play that hasn't been written yet. Let's fight some ghosts. Off we go. I'd like to welcome all of our new viewers here to Net 21.
Oof.
So there is a road. There's only one road that goes north from Portree, a single track road. You walk on up. It's about 2 miles out of town till you get to the base of the mountains that rise up into the Storr. It looks a little something from the road like, oh, I don't really have a good one. That's actually from up on it. Actually, this probably gives you a better approximation. This is about 2/3 of the way up. It is a steep incline with a winding trail that's just rock and scree with heather and grasses growing out, the occasional scrub brush. No trees really to speak of at this point.
I have a question for absolutely no reason at all. This is purely just personal edification.
Mhm.
Did we recover any of our hit points, damage, etc.?
You each got, if you were injured, you got 1 back overnight.
Got another one back. All right, cool.
And has Lucas sobered up?
Yeah.
And then gotten drunk again. Yes.
Okay, good, perfect. It's the circle
That's how
of
I need
life.
them.
I'm always like a drink and a half in.
So
Not buzzed.
So Lucas is not drunk again. He's drunk still.
No, but not drunk. Like a
solid
one
buzz.
Yeah, almost buzzed.
Perfect.
And yet you didn't want to buzz the campsite.
No.
It does keep the muscles limber.
Yeah,
Right.
I would have. The last thing we want is I vomit. The cat gets upset. The plane, like, yeah, there's so many things that can go wrong if that happens.
You know, as far as you know,
you would have survived the sinking of the Titanic.
Lady Flora has gotten the cat into the castle and is waiting for her carriage ride back home.
Aww.
Yes, of course.
Lovely.
So it is a steep climb. It is, if you were to rate it as a difficulty from easy, moderate to hard, as far as climbing a hike would be, it would definitely be on the upper end of moderate.
All right.
Ooh, and for those of us with leg injuries, not that great.
Yes, you are still limping about, Montana Smith.
Yes, I am.
How would you like to proceed up to Storr itself?
Are we going to try and take them by surprise, or are we just?
Yeah, is there an approach that doesn't just have?
This is the terrain that leads up to it. You can see on the lower left of that picture, that's the trail. You can even see an individual on that trail for scale.
Yeah.
Where is the tent in relation to the trail? Can we approach?
Roughly where this picture is taken from.
Ah.
Okay.
So we're already there.
They would see us coming.
If someone is up there, they will likely see you coming.
All right.
If they happen to look down the hill for any reason at all.
All right. This is the only approach, so let us go.
Yeah, let's just go.
Yeah.
I need you all to roll me a hiking skill, if you will. The difficulty will not be hard at all. The difficulty is only a 7. But Montana, I'm going to give you a penalty die for your broken leg. Keep in mind, you do have helps, however, which would offset that.
I will use the help. Do you want me to go with former soldier trait or archaeology trait for this?
Former soldier for the actual hiking part.
All right, cool.
Big game hunter, you can use your big game hunting skill for that.
Thank you.
Dr. Sabine, do you have anything? You have your self-defense, right?
I mean, that would keep me fairly conditioned.
All right, I'll let you use that. And Speedy, anything?
diver. It's again health.
I'd say you're fairly healthy, so I get that you'll roll 3d6 for that as
It's all
well.
about stamina, eh?
Excellent.
I rolled a 14.
Good.
Same.
How many helps am I sitting on?
They're there on the screen.
I see that now. I might as well use one. Sure.
Again, just don't roll below a 7.
An 11 is not below a 7.
That is correct. What about you, Dr. Smith?
I rolled a 7.
You stumble
Exactly.
your way up, but you go down on one knee at one point. Pain shoots back through that basically gore wound in your leg. You wince a bit, manage to prevent yourself from spewing out expletives, and continue on your way.
Great,
you make-
Odin's Raven.
Would you like a painkiller?
What's that?
Would you like a pain something for the pain, monsieur?
Will it affect my ability to aim?
Ask William S. Burroughs.
Potentially.
I'm okay.
Apparently,
Alright.
the cat followed you up the side of the mountain.
It did.
It's like a goat, that cat.
Sure-footed. Has so much to say.
Lucas. So, are you giving him some pain medication? No, not yet.
I'm refusing it.
All right, very good.
I'm probably sober at this point now.
It takes you about a half hour to clamber your way up. It is not an easy climb. And you reach where the tent is. As you kind of come around the side of those rocks that I showed you, no one appears to be here.
Yeah, well, let's take a look in that tent. And I want to also, hey Doc, you've been talking a lot about the cult. Are there any
Pardon,
signs or whatever?
which doc?
Well, I call you Doc, and then he's Monty. That's how I could tell you call you apart.
Oh,
I
fair.
mean, I can tell you apart because you're different people with different attributes. When I'm speaking to you,
It's the
I
accent.
call you
isn't it?
Monty, and
Yeah.
you are Doc.
Delightful.
The
What was your
accent,
question?
isn't it?
Are there any like occult markings? Like, do they usually have like
Are you going to
hello?
search around the site? You've only just arrived.
Yeah,
I can look.
Right.
I
Yeah.
I
can
mean,
look
a
for
cult
it.
roll, an archaeology roll, and whatever else you guys. What would you, Lucas and
Tracking roll.
Speedy?
I rolled a 13.
Definitely going inside the tent, looking around inside the tent, and
What skill do you think would assist you in that?
me, Speedy, nothing. I got nothing.
Nothing. I just rolled 2 then. Lucas.
16.
Tracking, hunting.
Okay. All right. I'll let you roll tracking to determine that. Archaeology, you rolled a 16,
11.
11 there.
13.
Dr. Claymont, what was that?
13.
13. Very good. Speedy.
Respectable 10 on 2 dice.
Wow. Very nice. Looking around, pooling together your investigation. Sorry, I have to put that one up.
That is a twist.
Dracula's stepdaughter, do not give me ideas. Now all of a sudden I have ideas.
What do you think about that?
Putting it all together. There are 3 bunks in there, 3 cots inside the tent. There's a little table. They're looking around for occult things. There are traces of wax. There is a small little, like almost like a foot locker type thing that's sitting there that's not opened yet. You've discovered it. It's basically just a foot locker type size thing. It is closed. You do not know if it is locked. It does not have an external padlock though. So that there is that. Dr. Smith, archaeologically speaking, it doesn't look like they've been doing any sort of digging or anything like that. You don't find any excavating tools or anything of that sort at all. Lucas, you do find a flask that does appear to contain absinthe in it. Speedy, just essentially, it looks like they were here overnight. They are gone now, but they left some of their things behind, which leads you all to conclude that they are coming back.
Yeah, like personal effects, like change of clothes, like that kind of stuff left behind.
Well, there's the
Toothbrush.
footlocker that you haven't opened.
The wax, is it the same wax that we found in the Barak?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, I'll open the footlocker.
You open it. It is not locked. And inside you see there are a couple of partially burned black wax candles. You also find, a little brass trench lighter. You find several pieces of chalk stashed
This is
in there.
feeling eerily familiar.
A little bag of white crystals, which on closer examination turn out to be salt. And you also discover a couple changes of clothes.
Do the clothes look modern or do they look ceremonial?
The top couple are modern. As you dig down, there are indeed black robes. 2 of them.
Very interesting.
Of average size black robes.
Okay. Is there
Why
any
do I-
indication as to where they might have gone?
Lucas, with his tracking, there's nowhere to go from here except back down toward Portree. The actual pillar of Storr itself, the old man itself, let me show you the picture again, is on a slight outcropping. So essentially, this tent is down. You see where those, there's the main pillar, and then there's that area where there's a slight gap between those 2 other stones.
Mm-hmm.
The tent is right around in there.
So I guess we should go towards the store.
Yeah.
You walk over to the store itself, the old man itself. Again, it is a large pillar of rock with a slight indentation at its base. I'm going to pull it up again just to get you again the sense of scale. There is a human figure right there.
Yes.
You can see there is a little flattened area right next to it. Archaeologically speaking, archaeologists believe that these are volcanic plugs that are left over. You are on the west coast of Scotland. You are getting close to the plates. Iceland obviously is on the rift, the plates where they meet. This is not far off of that, so it's probably old volcanic activity on a geological scale of where this came from. Obviously, I've told you the mythological roots of this as well. But looking around this area, you do see that there is an area cleared out in the scree and the gravel, almost like it's been brushed free of obstacles. You find a very simple broom nearby, leaning against one of the small rocks there. Obviously, that was used to sweep it out. I will save you the trouble. The broom does not seem ceremonial in any way, but it clearly was used to clear what is obviously a ceremonial space right at that notch at the base. It does not look like anything has been done here yet, but it has been prepped for something.
Friends, there were 2 robes. There are 3 of them. What do you want to bet they want to sacrifice McDonald?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think they're sacrificing McDonald. They say, and here's why. It's because the 2 robes are of normal size. Our Pacific Island friend is a bit bigger, and if he's got that vest, maybe he ain't human.
He's a high priest.
So
He's a high priest, or he's something.
I'm a little confused because this was not like in Greece where we had a physical place, because there doesn't seem to be any place where they are going besides this cleared out area, but they are not here.
I don't know if they're necessarily going for a place. I think they're looking for places of power and tapping into whatever. I mean, let's see what they're waking up a lot of stuff.
Well, yes, I
Is what
understand
we've
that,
been
but
seeing.
my question is, where are they now?
From the tracks, it looks like they went back down to Portree. That they are in town right now,
Ah,
and that you have passed them.
great.
So do we wait here for them to come back, or do we go looking for them?
At this point, it's about 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine
Sunset is at 6:42. Not that I looked that up in advance for any reason at all.
And the solstice is the next.
This-
Tonight.
this
Oh.
It is.
Hey,
Yes.
Doc.
The
is there
nighttime is the
anything-
right time.
What could we do to this site to A, hide our presence, and B, mess up their ceremony for them?
Uh,
I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's not a solstice; it's an equinox.
Equinox.
Oh,
oh,
That's
right,
what
it's
we
a
do.
spring. It's a
Sorry.
spring equinox. Okay, so
We're talking about 2 different Renaissance bands.
To answer your question, I'm going to roll my occult, perhaps.
Go ahead.
I rolled a solid 15.
And what exactly was the question?
Is there anything that we could do to potentially mess up their ceremony, or?
Well, they've apparently not. They've only cleared a space to put the ceremony in place. They have not actually gone. If they are doing the candles and lines and anything like that, they have not put those into place yet. So those things have not been done. It is your logical assumption that they went into town to acquire something for the ceremony and are coming back to do it at some point after sunset.
Fair enough. I think this might be a little bit rudimentary, but if they are using chalk, perhaps having a little bit of water around might be nice. If they are going to be using sigils and or other things to potentially summon something.
Dr. Sabine, I will tell you, with your occult knowledge, it takes a lot of time to set up something like this. Give
Indeed.
me, you can give me an occult roll, and all the rest of you can also roll 3d6 for your various sub traits. I'll explain once you roll and tell me what you got.
I rolled a 14.
14.
Not really very good. That's making me nervous.
12.
12.
7.
7.
8.
8. All right. Essentially, particularly Dr. Sabine and Lucas Evans, it occurs to you that the actual equinox, the moment of the equinox, is at 6:35 in the morning, coming up, of the 21st. That obviously has incredible occult significance, and would also give them plenty of time to set everything up. If they're coming up here, if as might be assumed, the ritual is going to happen at the equinox, they would have a good 10 hours to prepare.
That is not insignificant. That is interesting. Perhaps we should wait for them.
This island is covered in cats.
It's Scotland, man.
Yeah.
There's
That
cats
is
everywhere.
very true.
Well,
The cat has changed color. It is an omen, in fact.
yeah, we could sort of wait here and ambush them when they come back, or I don't know, what's our objective? Capture these guys? Punch them out? Just stop them from doing something?
I mean,
I think
obviously,
that-
it is to prevent them from doing whatever it is they're doing, which is I'm perhaps finding out what is exactly they're doing.
And going back to what was it? Our original mission was to research some stuff here, right?
Yes.
Research the attacks, right?
Correct.
And was it
Pim originally sent you here because of the deaths on the road and a mention. The second man who died kept repeating the name Nararthotep over and
Yeah.
over and over again before he expired. That is why he sent you here, to figure out what is going on. So, friends, I've got to ask you a question. Not this coming Wednesday, the next, but the Wednesday after that. Are you all free?
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
2 Wednesdays from now.
2 Wednesdays from now.
Yes.
That date is.
Isn't that the 14th?
I think that is.
Oh, that is the 14th.
Valentine's Day.
Then I am.
May I?
I have
How
some
about
prior
you?
engagement.
And you have a date with Lady Flora, so obviously that
Yes.
won't work for you. How about
I got you a fabulous reservation at a great spot in Paris.
Is it on the
how
water?
about
Can I fly there?
Oh yes,
How about next Wednesday?
I am free next Wednesday. Yes.
Yeah.
I can be. I'll probably be in a hotel.
Can you do it for a short session next Wednesday?
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, it's just like I just don't know exactly what my my
Very
setup
well.
is going to be able to be.
Speedy?
Yes, but I might be coming in at the last second.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We're going to call it there because it is getting very close. But I think our next one will be a short session. Next Wednesday, we can do one. But before I wrap everything up, I just wanted to get that clear, because originally I thought we would be finished tonight, but I don't want to cheese out the ending. So we're going to extend to next week, friends. We're going to do one more session on this adventure. To that end, though, Montana, Lucas, Speedy, Dr. Sabine, to wrap up this episode, what are your goals? What are you thinking is going on?
There's a summoning.
That's what I think too.
I agree. I think my goal is to I want to not harm anyone, but I want to understand what is going on and why they are seeking Narlatep. So I'm looking for information.
Oh, I'll harm somebody. I will disrupt this. Like I don't want that Aiden kid to meet a terrifying and tragic end. But as for our other cultists, I'm all for putting the cultists down.
I have a quick theory, if we're allowed a metagame.
Go ahead.
All right. You said the Lord MacDonald said his vest had locks on it, and there's
Yes.
2 robes. He's say the name for me, Nalarthotep.
Close enough.
Okay. he's Nalarthotep in a human form, and the ceremony at a point of power is going to unlock this.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Pandora. He's related to Pandora's box somehow. Okay.
Yeah, they were looking for a key to open some stuff up earlier.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
This is why I should take notes. All right.
I think I'm just going to. I'm going to reserve judgment until I understand more.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I'm with Monty on this, and that I think they're trying to remove those locks,
Yeah.
and that's why there's only two robes.
And they thought the Brock was the point of power, but it's actually
Yeah,
it's
they
actually
keep trying to. Oh, yeah, that's it. They're trying all of these spots to see, like, okay, let's thing this. This beast isn't doing it. This ancient king isn't doing it. Yeah.
When I looked at the charts, Gloom Master,
Yes.
is there any sort of discernible like pattern to the places that they've been spotted?
Just looking at it, not really. I mean, it's 3 points,
Okay,
which could always be a triangle.
right.
But beyond that, it's not like an equilateral triangle. It's not even a
Right.
right angle anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not even a 90-degree triangle anywhere. It looks more like. Well, actually, Dr. Clément and Monty, give me rolls. One archaeology, one occult.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about ley lines, but this could be a ley line thing?
I don't know
11?
nothing about the ley line.
Oh, booyah! I got a 20.
All right. And Dr. Clément?
An 11.
An 11. The nearest you can discern is that they are doing things at known supernatural locations from the past.
Correct. Okay.
They don't appear to be connected in any way, shape, or form. Again, the Beast of Odo Pass, there are no mentions of that before the late 1700s, early 1800s, when the road was actually built.
Okay.
Nothing occurred before that there. The Broch is an Iron Age. That's from like 500-600 AD. So not related, obviously. Old Man of Storr has been here forever. It's an ancient geological formation. So again, not necessarily connected each of those places that you know of.
Okay.
And no cultural tie-ins to any of those things.
All right.
So the Beast of Odal Pass was just a bystander.
Red hair. It's a red herring.
Well, Montana Smith, you know what? You rolled a 20. I'll give you this. It occurs to you that maybe they were testing what they were doing.
Yeah.
That
So
makes sense.
they woke up the Beast of Odal Pass. They woke up
They woke up the
ghost.
white,
Yeah.
and they now need to summon
The cat.
Nyarlath.
Nyarlathotep?
They need to summon Bubba Hotep. I mean, so
Bruce Campbell will appear.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, if only. You kidding me?
Oh my God, that would be amazing. Bruce Campbell shows up.
Can this screen fit that chin?
Well, let's give it a call. Let me. I gotta make a couple phone calls. We got Bruce Campbell on the line.
He's not that busy.
Actually, Dr. Sabine, can you roll me another occult, if you would, please?
Sure.
Will that summon Bruce Campbell?
You know what? I'm going to use an app for some reason.
You're going to use a help? Very well. Please use a help.
With the help. A 15.
A 15. Your understanding, Nalarthotep does not need to be summoned. He is in the earth, in the world already.
Okay.
That
So-
is not, they are not, it doesn't make sense to you that they are trying to summon Nyarlathotep because he's already here.
That is very interesting. So what are they trying to summon is my question.
What
Because-
indeed? And next episode, we might find out
Ah.
what that thing is. Friends, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry about that little odd denouement that we put on the end here. I thought we were going to get through the whole thing tonight, but alas, we are not. So tune in next week and we'll the thrilling conclusion of our adventure next time. But let me take a moment to introduce our players and a little bit about them and what they are doing. First of all, let's start with Dr. Montana Smith.
Hey, everybody. I'm Dan Kostelik as Montana Smith. I'm your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare at several Renaissance festivals near you. Tuesday mornings, but not this coming Tuesday morning in all likelihood, at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I do writing sonnets with Shakespeare right here on the Nat 21 Adventures channel. It's a collaborative process. We join the writer's room and we create a sonnet over the course of an hour. This Tuesday, unlikely, as I'll be driving down to the Lone Star State. But since I'm going to be doing a lot of driving
Missouri.
next week, yes, exactly. You got it. Yeah, I'm going to go see Tay-Tay. So if you want to hit me up for coffee or lunch or something, and I'm already past you, let me know. I'll obviously turn around. I'll drive back 1,000 miles. We'll have coffee. I'll delay my entire week. It'll be great. But also this Friday, this is very important for two of us, is Bandcamp Friday. So go to our various Bandcamp pages on Bandcamp Fridays. First Friday of every month. Bandcamp puts their entire portion of the proceeds of an album over to the artists directly. It's the best single day of a month that you can go to. And also, please go follow my Instagram. And just know I'm going to be running in Dallas next Saturday in the hot chocolate run. So come say hi.
Very good. We also have with us, speaking of the Bandcamp angle of things, we have Lucas Evans.
Hi, I'm Steve O'Dockerson. You can go to hobthetroll.bandcamp.com. I'm going to be at the Pinellas Medieval Festival February 3rd, 4th, 10th, and 11th. Then the Tennessee Renaissance Festival May 5th, 4th, 5th, 11th, and 12th. And the World of Fae in Milton, Pennsylvania on May 17th and 18th. I will also be debuting. I'm trying a new gout medication, so we'll see how that goes. Just thought I'd mention that. And I've been drawing pictures of the cast of Bonanza fighting monsters. Here is Dan Blocker. He will be fighting Frankenstein. So I'll be working on that. Yeah.
Who's Little Joe taking on?
Oh, Little Joe is going to be fighting a mummy.
Yes, of course. Why wouldn't he? We also have with us Dr. Sabine Clément.
Hi, everybody. I'm Katie Hauser. You can find me at Rune Away with Katie on Instagram. I am a member of Cheese Treasure and an actor extraordinaire. And also, this is Pushkin, who just loves to be in front of the camera. As soon as we're done with this live stream, he will ignore me. So I'm going to give all the love that I can. And yeah, you can find me at hobthetroll at bandcamp.com.
Very good. We also have Speedy Pete Boyd.
Hi, friends. I'm Ryan Gelotti, and I'm going to be performing as half of the Buckle half of Buckle and Swash. We open this weekend at the Florida Renaissance Festival every weekend in February and March. It's a brand new season, brand new year. They have us a brand new stage. It's all new. Cannot wait to be there amongst the people of South Florida.
Indeed. And I am Tom Zadoyko. I am your Gloom Master. I am the Swash half of Buckle and Swash. We will be down at Quiet Waters Park at Deerfield Beach at the Florida Renaissance Fair for 8 weekends at a brand new stage, as you mentioned. I do want to also mention a number of us, in fact, all of us are either nominated or can be written in as a vote for the Renaissance Festival Podcast Awards, which end tonight. Tonight, I believe. So if you go on over to the Renaissance Festival Podcast Awards, they're on Facebook. I think we might have a link that we can throw up there. Let me see if we can. But if you just search Renaissance Festival Podcast Awards on Facebook, you will find them. Facebook Renaissance Festival Podcast Awards. You're allowed to vote once. Please don't vote extra times. They throw out all those votes if you do that. But you can vote for Buckle and Swash. For I believe we are in the category of action physical show. I know William Shakespeare, Dr. Montana Smith, is a solo performer. Dr. Sabine Clement is with Chase Treasure. That's under singing groups. And you can always write in Hob the Troll at pretty much any category, really. He's a man of all seasons. So
second best joust troop in the Pacific Northwest.
That's right.
That's right. Yes, you can put him in as
The only
as
category
best-
that matters. It's the
The
only
best
category
joust
that
troop.
matters.
Thank you, Shakespeare, for the link there. Whoa, there's the you can find it on that. Renfest Music is how you find their survey, or you can go directly to their site at
Easy to remember.
SurveyMonkey.
And while
So
we're
easy to
voting,
remember.
don't forget that Buckle and Swash is actually nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize this year. So
That is correct.
we
We actually
People's Choice Award.
we negotiated the peace settlement between the Fire Nation and the Water Tribe.
Oh,
Very
I have
proud of
a
that.
trophy that says second place in trophy forgery. That my
Nice.
wife got me for Christmas. Do you guys know you can buy trophies for like $20? Like, I don't know why people are yeah.
I
You can find
have
dumb
a
trophy. Yeah.
I have the Francis Scott Key as seen in The West Wing. So yes, I did.
Yes.
I will point out that a friend of mine gave me this award. You tried.
Nice. Nice.
So
Amazing.
So yes, please, if you are so inclined, go to the Renaissance Festival podcast. Go ahead and vote for your favorite acts, whether it's us or somebody else. We prefer if it was us, but if it's not, that's
Nice.
okay. I get it. But also want to take a moment to thank our sponsors, like we do. 3d2u.org, our good friends Amy and Jesse. They're making all sorts of laser cut and 3D printed gaming accessories, dice trays, dice towers, journals, all kinds of stuff. Check
I
them
love
out,
those mimic boxes.
3d2u.org.
Yeah.
Also want to thank renadventures.com, which is a perennial sponsor. We've got our D&D tour June 2nd through the 7th at Muncaster Castle in England. We'll be doing all sorts of cool stuff. There's a hedge maze. We're doing falconry, some old historical ruins nearby. And then when we're not doing that cool stuff, we're playing D&D in a freaking castle. And your dungeon masters are myself, Ryan Gelotti, Pete Boyd over there, and Paulo Garbanzo himself, our head of Nat 21 Adventures. So if you're interested, I know a bunch of tickets have sold. I believe there's still a couple left. renadventures.com. Check that out. And then you can also support myself, the Glue Master, Tom Zadoyko, and my wife, Handler Z, who's been in the background running comments with our baby. Our baby Helena is in the background there. You can. We have written a book. Well, rather, she has written a book, Dare by Melissa Lee. You can find it on Amazon, Kindle, and I do the audio version on Audible. And you can support us directly at Patreon, patreon.com/Quill and Quote. You actually have to type that whole thing in because we do horror, dark romance, sci-fi. As such, it gets an over 18 rating, so you can't find it on just a random search. You actually have to type that in. If you join our Patreon, we send you stories as she writes them and as I narrate them, so you get them before anybody else does. And there is Handler Z right now with baby Helena, our baby bat. So thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be coming back next Wednesday to maybe wrap this up as we wait on the old man of Storr to see what Aidan MacDonald and his nefarious associates are up to. But until then, friends, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Mwah.